Oil Journey. Oil Journey is a service that seeks to propel the Ghana government's open data initiative by serving the general citizenry with edible and comprehensive oil and gas data, pursuing accountability, transparency and probity of the allocation and utilization of oil and gas revenue in Ghana. It accomplishes it through bridging the communication gap that has long existed between the masses and the managers of Ghana's largest natural resources find. A platform set up to help the citizenry address this issue has been launched in Accra. The platform, called Oil Journey, has been unveiled with its theme being empowering citizens to be watchdogs over oil revenue utilization. The chairman of the occasion, Mr. Kwame Ahiabenu II, elaborated on the need for the platform.
Looking at our case as Ghana, one of the interesting law we have is the Revenue Management Law, which gave birth to the Public Interest Accountability Committee, which Prof will talk about. And the key issue for a lot of citizens is that we found oil, and so what? Does that mean that we're all going to have jobs? Does that mean that we're all going to have what? Better infrastructure in terms of roads, in terms of what? Hospitals, and so on and so forth. However, after the 5 or 6 years of oil finding in Ghana, a lot of people are asking a big question. Where's this oil money? Unfortunately for us, or fortunate for us, when we've, after finding oil, the price have dropped significantly. So the revenues are not coming the way they should. But however, revenue is still coming in. So it's very important that we still see how the revenue is being used.
In his presentation on what traditional leaders expect from the use of Ghana's oil revenue, Nene Joseph Ni Togbo Obodai II, Chief of Obojo, explained the need for the oil revenue to be used in building the country.
This oil money should be used to create the enable environment for our people so that they will feel free to go about their businesses and therefore have the monies in their pockets. Now, looking at this, we feel if the oil money is used to bring about education within our communities, at least from kindergarten to GSS level, if this will be free for them so that everybody can have this education, I think it will help our communities. We also wish the money to be used in the area of health, that's having clinics within our communities so that we can have access to good health. That is also important to us. We also want to have clean environment. That is what we say sanitation day. Well, if we are provided with vehicles and things that will put our garbage and all these things so that it will be taken to the discharging end so that keeping our environment clean and save us from cholera and other communicable diseases. This will also be very good to us. We are also looking at the area of infrastructure, having good roads within our communities. Presently, we see certain roads being constructed, but we don't see how they are going about. Sometimes they make the drainage and leave these roads for so many years without coming back to attend to them. This is very worrying because we don't see the road being surfaced or tarred to make the community, very lively and motorable. We feel these things should be done in a very good atmosphere with the oil money so that it will also come to help us.
Professor P.K. Bua Basua, chairman of PIAC, gave a presentation on the utilization of Ghana's oil revenue.
We are the second generation of PIAC. The first generation has moved out under Major Retired Abla Kwaku, who did a very good job by establishing this committee. We, the second generation, I'm putting a lot of emphasis on analysis of data collected from various sources. And then we see how best we can discern on it. I'll look at where the sources of petroleum revenues, how do we share it, and how do we utilize it? Are the public happy with these expectations? The sources of data and information are from Ministry of Finance. They use the money. Ghana Petroleum Corporation, they are on the field, on the platform with Ghana Customs and Ghana Revenue Authority on the platform. Bank of Ghana, they do the day-to-day administration of the money as well as receive all monies and take proper care of it. The Ghana National Gas Company are responsible for the gas sales and others. And Sopon Offshore Producing Company also produces oil. Income tax, 35%. And 2015 semi-annual report is so interesting. It gives some balance and loopholes in the law that needs to be looked at seriously. And in this industry, you have to be objective, not to be sensational for that purpose.
In an interview with David Mumuni, a representative of Oil Journey, he explained the reason for creating Oil Journey.
Knowledge of the projects that are taking place in their communities that are funded by oil revenue, so that once the citizens have that kind of information, they can now become community-based watchdogs to ensure that that contract is actually taking place, and then also to ensure that the quality of that contract is also good. This is a way of making sure that there's value for money in terms of the projects that the nation is spending money in terms of the oil revenue that we get. They invest into these projects. So we are trying to empower citizens to become watchdogs so that these contracts are rightly done, and then there's value for money, and then we benefit on the long run from the oil revenue.
Mr. Shaibu Mohammed, a representative of Making All Voices Count, expressed gratitude to the creators of Oil Journey.
Well, MAVC is a governance program, and what we aim to do is to support civil societies, private sector, actually public sector as well, to be able to harness the power of new technologies and new partnerships in order that they can enhance the relationship between citizens and their government in terms of the good governance and the expected outcomes that we look out in terms of the improvement of the lots of the poor and the marginalized populations in this country. And we are very much aware that the discovery of oil is one of those key avenues where citizens really do expect something, and then government also at the other side does want to make an impact